Hello everyone, my name is Reyna Katrina Lebelo and you can call me Miss Cat. Welcome to BLEPT Review. Okay, the topic that I will tackle is English for specific purposes. The course description is, this course helps students improve their English skills for a specific job or field, such as business, tourism, medicines, or engineering. It focuses on the words, conversations, and writing they will use it in real situations related to their work or studies. Students will practice reading, writing, speaking, and listening using examples from their chosen field to become more confident and effective in using English. Without further ado, let's start our review. Okay, the first question is, when can the origins of ESP or English for specific purposes be traced back to? A. The 18th century. B. The 19th century. C. The early 20th century. And for D. The 21st century. Alright, the correct answer is letter C, the early 20th century. Why? Because the roots of ESP can be traced to the early 20th century, especially after World War II, when global communications and international needs for English in science, technology, and business increased. And for A, B, and D are incorrect because the 18th century, during the 18th century, English was not yet widely used for academic or professional specializations. ESP did not exist as a formal concept. While the letter B, the 19th century, English started to grow globally during this time. ESP as a teaching and research field had not yet developed. And for letter D, the 21st century, ESP had already been established. By this time, the 21st century only continued its development, but it was not the origin. Do you understand? Alright. Okay. Next question, number 2. According to Hutchinson, year 1987, ESP is an approach to language teaching in which all decisions as to content and method are based on. Letter A, the teacher's personal preference. B, the learner's reasons for learning. And for C, the general English curriculum. And for D, the availability of teaching materials. Okay, the correct answer is letter B, the learner's reasons for learning. This is correct because Hutchinson 1987 defined ESP as a learner-centered approach, meaning that the content and methods are shaped by why the learner is studying English, whether it's for work, studies, or a specific field. A, C, and D are incorrect because letter A, the teacher's personal preference. This is incorrect because ESP focuses on the learner's needs, not the teacher's choice. It is student-centered, not teacher-centered. And for letter C, the general English curriculum, this is incorrect because ESP is different from general English. It is tailored to specific purposes like business, medicines, or engineering, not based on a one-size-fits-all curriculum. And for letter D, the availability of teaching materials, because while materials are important, they are secondary to understanding the learner's goals. ESP materials are often customized if needed based on the learner's specific needs. Do you understand, class? Alright, okay. Next number is number 3. who stated in 2005 that ESP concentrates more on language context than on teaching grammar and language structure. Letter A, Hutchinson and Waters. Letter B, Dudley, Evans, and St. John. Letter C, David Noonan. And for letter D, Lorenzo. Alright, the correct answer is letter D, because in 2005, Lorenzo highlighted the English for specific purposes puts greater focus on language context, how language is used in real life or professional settings rather than strictly teaching grammar, rules, and language structure. This statement reflects the shift in ESV towards practical language use based on learner needs. For A, B, and C are incorrect because letter A, Hutchinson and Waters, they are well known for their work in ESP in year 1987, but they did say this in 2005. Their work focuses more broadly on ESP theory and courses design. While the letter B, Dudley, Evans, and St. John, their major contributions to ESP was in 1998, not 2005. While they also emphasize context in language teaching, this exact quote and focus is not from them. And for letter C, David Noonan, Noonan is known for his work in general language educations and learner-centered approaches. He did not make this specific claim about ESP in 2005. So do you understand, class? Okay. Next, number 4. Why did English become the dominant language in science, technology, and international trade after World War II? A, because English-speaking countries that had the largest population. Letter B, due to the economic power of the United States and growth in science and technology. And for letter C, because English was the easiest language to learn. And for letter D, because the 1970s oil crisis made English the official language worldwide. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Due to the economic power of the United States and growth in science and technology. Because after World War II, the U.S. became an economic superpower with advances in science and technology, making English the dominant language in those fields. While the A, C, and D are incorrect because letter A, because English-speaking countries had the largest populations. Population size was not the main factor. Many countries with largest populations did not speak English. And for letter C, because English was the easiest language to learn. This is incorrect because English is not necessarily the easiest language to learn, but its global influence was due to economic and scientific reasons. And for letter D, because the 1970s oil crisis made English for the official language worldwide is incorrect because the 1970s oil crisis threatened English role but did not make it an official language worldwide. Do you understand, class? Okay. Next is number 5. Which of the following best reflects a learner-centric approach in educational psychology? Letter A, designing one standard curriculum for all learners regardless of their background. Letter B, creating courses tailored to individual learning styles, skills, and prior knowledge. C, focusing only on the teacher's preferred method of instructions. Letter D, ignoring students' motivations and treating all learners equally. Okay, the correct answer is letter B, creating courses tailored to individuals' learners' style, skills, and peer knowledge, because this reflects a learner-centric approach that recognizes individuals' differences and aims to meet each learner's specific needs, which is a core idea in educational psychology. While the A, C, and D are incorrect because letter A, designing one standard curriculum for all learners regardless of their backgrounds, because this ignores individual differences and assumes all learners benefit from the same teaching method, which goes against the learner-centric philosophy. For letter C, focusing only on the teacher's preferred method of instructions is incorrect because a learner-centric approach shifts the focus from the teachers to the learners. This choice is teacher-centered, not learner-centered. For letter D, ignoring students' motivations and treating all learners equally, because while treating learners fairly is important, ignoring their motivations and unique needs does not support effective learning. A learner-centric approach values personal motivations and differences. Do you understand? Alright. Okay, for number 6, what is the main purpose of the tree of ELT framework by Hutchinson and Waters, year 1987, in teaching English as a second language? Letter A, to help teachers understand the different components of language teaching and how to use them to create effective and engaging lessons. Letter B, to provide a strict syllabus that teacher must follow without changes. For letter C, to teach students grammar rules only. And for letter D, to replace all traditional teaching methods with technology-based teaching. Okay, the correct answer is letter A, to help teachers understand the different components of language teachings and how to use them to create effective and engaging lessons. Because the tree of ELT is a framework that breaks down the complex field of English language teaching into manageable parts. It helps teachers see the relationship between different elements like language, learners, learning, and teaching, so they can design better lessons. It is flexible and focuses on understanding rather than prescribing rigid method. For letter B, C, and D are incorrect because letter B, to provide a strict syllabus that teacher must follow without any changes, is incorrect because the framework is not about a fixed syllabus. Instead, it helps teachers think about how to tailor lessons to their students' need, while the letter C, to teach students grammar or rules only, is incorrect. While grammar is a part of language teaching, the tree of ELT covers many components, such as skills, learner needs, teaching, methods, and context, not just grammar. And for letter D, to replace all traditional teaching methods with technology-based teaching, the framework does not promote replacing traditional method, but encourages understanding and combining different approaches, including but not limited to technology. Do you understand, class? Alright. Next is number 7. You notice that one of your students is often distracted and not participating during class discussions. What is the best way to handle these situations? Letter A, ignore the students since participation is optional. Letter B, call out the students in front of the class to motivate them to pay attention. Letter C, talk privately with the students to understand if there is an underlying problem and offer support. Letter D, give the student extra homework to keep them busy. Okay, the correct answer is letter C. Talk privately with the students to understand if there is an underlying problem and offer support. Because understanding the students' situations and offering help shows care and encourages participation. While A, B, and D are incorrect because letter A, ignore the students since participation is optional. This is really incorrect because ignoring the problem may cause it to persist or worsen. While the letter B, call out the students in front of the class to motivate them to pay attention because publicly calling out the students may embarrass or discourage them. And for letter D, give the students extra homework to keep them busy because extra homework doesn't address the root cause and might add stress. Do you understand, class? Okay. Next is number 8. During a group activity, you notice one student is dominating the conversations while others are silent. What should you do? Letter A. Let the dominant student continue because they seem knowledgeable. Letter B. Stop the activity and lecture the whole class about sharing time. Letter C. Gently remind the group about the importance of everyone's participations and encourage quiet students to share their ideas. Letter D. Ignore the situation since group dynamic usually balance out eventually. Okay, the correct answer is letter C. Gently remind the group about the importance of everyone's participations and encourage quiet students to share their ideas because it promotes balanced participations and respects all students' voices. For letter A, B, and D are incorrect because letter A, let the dominant students continue because they seem knowledgeable, because it encourages equal participation and may frustrate quieter students. And for letter B, stop the activity and lecture the whole class about sharing time because stopping the activity abruptly may disrupt learning and may not solve the problem effectively. And for letter D, ignore the situation since group dynamic usually balance out eventually. Because ignoring it might leave quieter students unheard and disengaged. Do you understand, class? Alright. Next number is number 9. You have students who frequently arrive late to class. What is the best approach to address this? Letter A. Give the student detentions immediately without asking for reason. Letter B. Speak with the student privately to find out the reason and discuss ways to improve punctuality. And for letter C, publicly announce that latecomers will be punished to deter others. And for letter D, ignore it because it's only a few minutes late and did not disruptive. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Speak with the student privately to find out the reason and discuss ways to improve punctuality. Because private conversation shows empathy and helps find practical solutions. For letter A, C, and D are incorrect because letter A gives the students detentions immediately without asking the reasons, because punishment without understanding the cause may be unfair and ineffective. And for letter C, publicly announce that latecomers will be punished to deter others. This is incorrect because public punishment can embarrass the students and harm the classroom atmosphere. And for letter D, ignore it because it's only few minutes late and did not disruptive. Because ignoring frequent lateness might affect classroom order and the students' learning habits. You understand? Okay, for the last number 10, you are teaching a mixed level English class, and one of your beginner students is struggling to keep up with the more advanced students during a reading activity. What is the best approach to help the beginner students? Letter A, ask the beginner student to sit quietly and listen while the advanced students discuss the text. Letter B, provide the beginner student with a simplified version of the text and additional support during the activity. And for letter C, move the beginner students to a different class with only beginners. And letter D, ignore the beginner students' struggle and focus on the whole class to keep the pace. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Provide the beginner student with a simplified version of the text and additional support during the activity. This approach differentiates instructions to meet the learner's needs, helping the students stay engaged and improve at their own pace while still participating in the class activity. For letter A, C, and D are incorrect because letter A asks the beginner students to sit quietly and listen while the advanced students discuss the text. Is incorrect because it isolates the students and reduces active learning opportunities, which are crucial for language acquisitions. For letter C, move the beginner students to a different class with only beginners because it might disrupt the students' social connection with peers and does not encourage learning in diverse settings, also not always feasible. And for letter D, ignore the beginner students' struggle and focus on the whole class to keep the pace because it overlooks the students' individual needs, which can lead to frustrations and disengagement. Do you understand? Okay. Now that we are done reviewing English for specific purposes, thank you for listening and good luck.